What is up, everybody? It's Grim here, and it's Friday. Think crunchy, obviously, but more important than that, there is a 6.2 PTR update, and with it, it brings time walking. I know, panic not. I know many of you said they're going, oh, for the love of God, please do not be another huge fucking gaping plot holes, lore contradictions, and God knows whatever else like Warlords of Draenor. Don't do that. Don't do that to us, please. Not again. Not again, no. This is something completely different. Panic not, my friends. Fingers crossed we don't have to go through another plot. We're not going to go there. Don't worry about it, guys. Basically, time walking is when we get to go back with the nostalgia glasses on. Let's put those on. Oh, there we go. Put those roasting glasses on. We get to go back and do old five-mans again. Now, this is not to be confused with the mythic dungeons. We're going to put that to one side. We'll talk about that another time. These are to be considered more, easy for me to say, like the event dungeons. So you know when you do the Love is in the Air, and you get to go to Shadowfang Keep, and you get to do that little special dungeon bit? It's kind of like that. It's a fun little filler thing, but there's a few important things to note. And the biggest one for me, when I read through this, is that you will be able to get coins from this. So you know your roll coins, when you go to raids, you'll be able to get them from these events. Fantastic. But we're skipping to the end when we should be starting at the beginning. Grim, come on. Right, basically in patch 6.2 on the test realms, we'll be able to go time walking, as we have said. What they're going to do is they're going to introduce 7 different weekend events. Basically, they will run from noon on Friday through to noon on Monday. So you get the whole weekend to try it out. 2 of those events will be these time walking ones. Now, you keep saying time walking, Grim, but what the hell is that? Well, time walking end is basically you'll be able to queue up for a randomly selected old dungeon. Okay, now so far these are going to be from TBC and from Wrath. Okay, and it'll be on a kind of, I say with air quotations, you can't obviously see that, but heroic dungeon difficulty. Now, the way this is going to work is when you go into a time walk dungeon, you'll find that your character, so your eye level and all the substance stats and everything else that goes with that have been squashed down to an appropriate scale for these dungeons. If any of you have ever done beta or anything like that and you go in and test the raids and the dungeons and all that good stuff, you'll find that your stats get squashed. Basically, they're applying that principle now to time walk dungeons. Do not panic. You do not lose any of your abilities. You're not going to suddenly lose your level 100 ability or anything like that. All they're doing is squashing you down to an appropriate level for that dungeon. Now, Blizzard have said that for the first time in years, some dungeons you outgrew long ago will once more test your skills. From what I've seen on PTR, well, more what I've heard. Unfortunately, you'll see above, this is me doing Utgard Pinnacle on live on my DK. Yeah, unfortunately, when I can actually log into the PTR, it's so unstable, I just crash out every 2 seconds, so I wasn't able to get good, concise footage of me doing this. But from what I've heard from people, so bear in mind this is obviously secondhand smoke and all that good stuff, is that it's ridiculously easy at the moment. It's as difficult as doing one of those event weekend dungeons. It's just you blitz through it. So I think all they've done is literally scaled your item level stats and everything else. So of course it doesn't take into account that we have abilities like Cataclysm now, or whatever other good ability you have at level 100. You can just crush these things. You can pull big packs, crush them down, and it's not really a challenge. Whether that will change, whether they'll scale the mobs up, scale us down a bit more, I don't know. Who knows? But they have said that there will be good rewards. As we are being scaled down, they will be scaling the gear up. So very much like Shadowfang Keep and all those good ones, Dead Mines got a boost to their gear when they went heroic 85 and all the gear went to 85. So this is going to happen with time walk. So when you go in, you'll be given level appropriate gear. Now the reason I say level appropriate is because what you need to remember is, as I said before, so far it's TBC and Wrath, which means when you hit 71 you'll be able to scale for these TBC dungeons all the way up to 100. From 71 all the way to 100 you'll then be able to do TBC. When you hit 81, you'll be able to do the Wrath ones as well. So from 81 to 100, you'll be able to do Wrath. As you go through those bands of, obviously, levels, the gear is going to change. So if you go in at level 90, you're going to get a level 90 appropriate gear. If you go in as level 100 appropriate gear. Now, whether that means it's going to be 630 gear like current heroics, I don't know. I haven't seen anything as of yet. But it does mean that we can get some funky old school looking gear that is actually going to be appropriate now. No need to transmog, we're actually going to get some nice looking gear. All dependent on what the level is going to be. But I know what you're wondering, what are they going to be? What 5-mans, what greats have they picked out? Well, we have the Alcatraz, we have the Black Morass, we have Manitombs, we have Shattered Halls, we have the Slave Pens, we have the Old Kingdom, Gundarak, Halls of Lightning, the Nexus, and Utgard Pinnacle. Not sure, I'm just looking at that last one, hence I'm actually running Utgard Pinnacle, that's why I picked Utgard. I wonder if the mounts and things will drop from there. Be interesting to see, but I'm not a huge fan of the Black Morass. The rest are okay. It'd just be interesting to see how this works out on live. Now, all of this is available from Blizzard's actual site. This is where I got it from, just reading through it. It's on Battle.net, but it's also on the Blizz site. I will make a link below, so you guys can have a look if you want to. Now, as I said at the beginning, because I jumped right to the end at the beginning, this is basically only available during a 3-day-long event at certain times. But if you're at level 100, say, you'll be able to get a quest that will reward you for doing this with 1 Seal of Tempered Fate. That's the coin I was talking about earlier, which you can use for your raids. Very cool. If you've also got the War Mill at an appropriate level, you're getting a free coin from that, and you get a free coin from this. You only need to buy 1 other coin. Yay! All good. But to be honest, at the moment, you're probably maxed out for coins anyway. I know I've got, I think, 9 on my Warlock. But anyway, that's a whole nother matter. Before I toddle off and enjoy my weekend, have a nice cool beer and enjoy this unseasonable weather. It's odd, it's warm in the UK. It's not right. Where's my rain and wind and miserable shit? Anyway, the PTR is, as I've said before, available. You can go there, you can copy your character from live and go and fiddle about with all that is to come, which is lovely. You can go and see this stuff for yourself. It's not some snotty, ooh, YouTubers go and have a look at the PTR because they get invited and I don't. That's not fair. Don't worry about that. If you are new to WoW, if Warlords Adrenal was your first one, you can go and have a look at the PTR. It's for everybody. Go and give feedback. Blizzard need it, especially, by the way. Go and mention the Warlocks don't need a 25% nerf, just between me and you. Can you mention that? That'd be really cool. Thanks. But yeah, anybody can go. I'll put a link down below to the page you need to go to. Basically, just go to your Battle.net account, go to downloads, and you will see an option there for, obviously, if you're European, EU, PTR. Just download that. It will appear on your Battle.net client, and you'll be able to just whisk away into the PTR. Be aware. Okay, be aware, like all things that are in testing, it is very unstable at times, and you will have things like you'll jump into a pool of water and it will DC you. Yeah, it is that unstable, but that's the price you pay for being able to see a lot of this content before it's released. It is worth doing, but obviously be aware that you're going to get a lot of spoilers. You know, if you go into the PTR, you're seeing content that hasn't been released on live yet. Duh, obviously. So be aware for major spoilers. If you're not interested in that, you don't mind having these spoilers, in which case dive on in, because your input is invaluable in making what actually does hit live so much better. Alright, there's already been people that have said, yeah, there's been issues like my video on the shipyard. You see the Garrison Shipyard was up at like 5,000 coins. Blizzard have already come out and said, yeah, that was a placeholder number. We will be sorting that in later patches. Don't worry. So everything like that, every bit of feedback you give to Blizzard now in the PTR is going to make it a smoother journey on live. But I think that's me done, guys. I think that is me done. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will catch you all on Monday. Have a good one, guys.